Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to INTV. I'm back yet with another video, but today we're doing my personal journey in software development. A lot of guys were asking in TikTok and YouTube and basically asking me about my educational background, my technical skills. So this one is for you guys. Subscribe, like, reshare, pass this video to your friends who basically want to come into the space of software engineering or IT for that matter. So obviously in high school, I majored in math and physics, and I did CAT as a background so that I can learn more about computers. So that's what I did, and then when I matriculated in, I can't remember even the year. When I matriculated, I went to Rosebank College. That's where I did my diploma in software development, or rather diploma in software engineering, however you want to call it. Those two words are used interchangeably. So that's when I was introduced to a lot of programming languages such as Java or C#, which is what I specialize in at work, and basically about database in terms of how it works individually and how it works within a system, and how it can be used via an API and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I majored in. So first year I did Java, whereby we had to create our own softwares and applications from the ground. Mind you, I didn't even know nothing about programming, but I have a sort of knowledge of the type of programming languages that are out there, such as your Java and C#. I knew about them, but I didn't do them to the core in terms of working with them. And then I specialized in, and then first year it was Java, and then second year it was C#. That's where I actually got to love what I'm doing in terms of programming 2A, 2B, web development, using ASP.NET Core, which is it's my love. So yeah, that's what I specialize in. And then third year, basically we did more of mobile development in terms of using Android Studio, but I chose there was a module whereby we got to build whatever we want. Then I built a mobile app using .NET. It was Xamarin Forms at that time, but now it's .NET MAU, which is mainly for mobile development. My experience, and before graduating, basically I got a job as a graduate at Adept IT, where I worked there for as a graduate. I was there for, I can't remember the amount of years, but I worked there for X amount of months before I became a junior. And when I was a junior, basically when I was a graduate, for that matter, I was my core skills were back end was C# in terms of building, enhancing, making sure that the system works better for our clients. I was in the space of telecommunications at that time. So yeah, when I was at Adept, back end it was C#, ASP.NET Core mainly, and then for database was Microsoft SQL Server, which is what I also love, what I major in, as a matter of fact. It's a nice combination to have C#, which is also Microsoft, Microsoft SQL Server, which is also Microsoft, and those two actually, as a matter of fact, they worked very, very well together. And for front end, then it was Angular. I think at that time it was Angular 12, if I'm not mistaken. I think now we are at 22, 23, somewhere there. And yeah, so that's what I did for about almost 2 years. Then obviously I moved on to another company, which is Ioko Tech, whereby also it was, or rather it still is, C# back end, front end, Angular, whereby we're using Angular 21. But you know that Angular 21 supports components, standalone components. So that's what we're dealing with currently. So yeah, for those who want to learn more about C# in terms of how the system is built, how the connection between the database, the back end, and the front end. It's mainly because it's mainly API, which is application programming interface. That gives you the liability, as a matter of fact, to communicate, or rather transform one response from one component to the other seamlessly. So if you want to create an API with C#, obviously you will deal with web APIs, which is very good, a very nice thing to build as a junior, or rather as a graduate, so that you can learn more about how the back end communicates with the database, how the database communicates with the front end. And on top of that, you need to mix it with CI/CD. At that time, at Adept, we were using TeamCity for CI, which is continuous integration, and then for continuous development, we were using Octopus. So those two would basically link, or rather we basically create a flow from one point to another in terms of deploying, or rather deployment from our side to the client's website, or client's website or service, whatever the case may be. So yeah, if you want to venture in within an IT, just look into those, look into the back end, look into the database, look into the front end, looking into CI/CD, and by that you'll be a well established full stack developer. And that's what I am, that's what I do on a daily basis, in terms of work. But the key thing here is to always be in training, because our industry is more like being a football. You can't go into the field without not training. You can't go without not into the field without not basically living healthy. You cannot go into the field not knowing what you have to do. You need to know the mandate. You need to know how to do your work. And by that, or rather, but before that, you need to be in constant training, reading out the news on how one can basically make a better microservices, how one can make a better front end, how one can make a better back end, the kind of patterns that you follow solid principles. What is solid principles? So you need to know those things: dependency injection, interface segregation. You need to know all of those things. But in order for you to know what to apply and when to apply, you need to be in constant training, using the type of architecture that you're using for backend. I personally love Onion, which gives you a very solid structure in terms of how one can build their backend. So obviously, if you want to ask more questions, if you want me to help you with anything, if you want to learn, or rather choose which career path that you want to take, please do let me know in INTV. As always, subscribe, like, share, comment, and thank you very much. See you next time on the next video.